Hi there, welcome back to Survival Existence. Today I'm going to show you how to properly clean a Glock handgun. Not only cleaning the bore, but also disassembling, reassembling the slide. Today I'm going to be using patches, cleaning jag, a couple of brushes, a 9mm and a 45mm. 9mm for the bore, 45mm to clean the chamber. Also going to be using 2 cotton swabs, cleaning rod, and a couple of toothbrushes. One of the toothbrushes is dirty. I don't care if it has oil on it or not. It's for doing rough scrubbing of some of the larger particles, some of the burnt gunpowder, so on, and a cleaner one to keep everything dry. A Glock handgun needs extremely little oil. It should have absolutely none around the firing pin channel or the extractor or any place really inside the slide. It doesn't hurt to put just literally a very small drop along the guides in the slide and 1 drop on the barrel. But other than that, a Glock really does not need any oil whatsoever. Now the anti-seize lubricant, people get so concerned about that whenever it's on these back parts of the slide guides. Whenever you first purchase one, that's the only time that any anti-seize lubricant should be on a Glock firearm. It's simply something to collect burnt powder, dirt, dust, and everything else. So you can completely forget about using anti-seize lubricant on a Glock once you have taken it out and shot 100, 200 rounds through it, and then clean it, and it's good to go. So we're going to throw that out. Let me clear my work area off, and we'll come back and I'll show you how to disassemble the Glock. Make sure that your chamber is completely empty in your gun, magazines removed, any attachments are off. Once all that's done, you pull your trigger. The hammer must be down, trigger back. In order to disassemble a Glock, your slide needs to be pulled slightly back, just like that. That's all it takes. Then this ears down here are pulled down, you slide it forward, just like that. Slide comes completely off. Set your hand grip away out of your work area and disassemble your firearm, just your field strip. Take this out, set it to the side. Take your barrel out, set it to the side. I usually like to start cleaning with my barrel. I don't know if you can see in there or not, but it's rather dirty. Okay, in order to start cleaning your firearm, I take a rag and I take some sort of gun scrubber and spray it down the chamber and on down the barrel. Try to loosen up any carbon deposits or anything else that may be there. Once that's done, I will take a brush and put it on my cleaning rod. This is a 38 caliber 9mm brush. I will brush the inside of that barrel and clean it completely out. Several times is plenty. Then I'll change brushes and clean the chamber. The same way. I will not force this all the way down into the barrel, but I will get to the edge of the barrel, making sure to get the whole chamber. Turn it around a few times so I can get that shoulder inside that chamber and make sure it's clear. Once I do that, I'll take gun scrubber again. I suggest using something like Birchwood Casey's gun scrubber, when it dries, it doesn't leave a residue, an oily residue, say like rim oil or CLP does. I like CLP, but I don't like it on the Glock. I will use it in a pinch, but you have to be doubly sure that you get all the oil out of there. But I will clean this again inside that chamber. Make sure you get all of the loose carbon fouling and powder, anything else that's in there, out. That looks much better just on that feed ramp right there. I'll wipe down the outside, making sure it's clean. These locking lugs, all the outside of the barrel. Get any fouling that's there off. Then I'll go back with my chamber again and clean it, making sure that it's all loose and out of there. Then I will change my brush again and do the entire barrel length from the chamber end. Once that's done, I will put the patch jag on and put a patch of an appropriate size on it. And then we'll clean the chamber and the barrel all at the same time. Want to get that shoulder where the round goes up. Now this gun I have had at the range, and I've probably shot at least 50 rounds through it, and probably more like 100 rounds. You can see that it's good and clean. Okay, now that that's good and clean, and it is, let's see if we can get it where you can see it. It's clear in there. It's good and clean. I'm going to set that to the side. And the next thing we're going to do is just simply wipe this recoil spring down. I will use my clean brush, clear it out, because there should not be any oil on it anywhere. A Glock is a unique animal in a lot of ways compared to a lot of other handguns that do require extremely good cleaning and being very well oiled. Glock, it's best if it's clean, but it's going to function and fire. They're so dependable. That's one of the things that's made them so popular, is their dependability. Okay, next thing we're going to do is set a rag to the side and disassemble the slide. Next, we will clean the slide to the Glock. For some people, the Glock slide seems to be an enigma of some kind. They just are afraid to disassemble the slide on a Glock. It's not complicated. Anyone can do it. In order to disassemble this slide, all you have to do is simply turn it over, look on this bottom side. See this striker right here? Right on the front end of the slide, you'll see a little cup right below that. Just take a small punch or a pin. I'm going to use this screwdriver with a small punch on the end of it, and I will pull it forward. You'll feel that go forward whenever you push it towards the front. When you do that, just simply take your finger and push the slide out, just like that. But keep your finger back there because there is a spring behind it too. Take it, set it down. After that, just simply remove the firing pin assembly. Then this spring for your extractor comes out. Now notice that there's a spring on the back side. Make sure that you reassemble it properly. Put it down there. Then you'll notice this button on the inside of your slide. It helps retain your extractor. If you'll push your extractor out, it won't come any further than that. So with your extractor out like that, push your button, manipulate it a little bit, and it'll come out of there just like that. And don't lose a spring on top of that. You'll need it. Normally it stays in there. You can pull it out, but I'd suggest not stretching the spring. Once that's done, your extractor's right there. Push it from the inside out. It has a peg on the end of it, or pin, that has to come straight out. You can actually just knock it out, just like that. Okay, once you've done that, then clean these parts. Normally, whenever you clean a Glock, it's not necessary to clean it but once a year unless you shoot it. Then you field strip it and clean it. When you want to clean the slide is at most twice a year. If you shoot it quite often, then about every 6 months. If you don't shoot it very often at all to none, you still need to clean it once a year. Just simply because if you carry it, you will get a great deal of lint, much like out of your dryer. And if you don't think so, this gun I carry almost daily. If you will look on the inside of the trigger guard, you can see all that lint on the inside there. That also gets on the inside of that slide. So believe me, it needs to be cleaned once a year. And it's not that difficult. First, I take a dry rag and just simply wipe everything down to get the larger pieces of dust off of it and any residual carbon from firing your firearm. Just simply wipe it off. Set those parts to the side. And what I like to do is with a dry rag, this one's not oily, just clean whatever large parts you can. Getting the majority of the fouling off. You can see some of the stuff that's coming out of there. Once you've got that done, set that rag to the side again, and taking a clean cotton swab, get in all the nooks and crannies and the guides in your slide. Just clean them out. You don't have to be just absolutely perfect, but everything like carbon fouling needs to come out of it. Get all the corners and all the edges, including the chamber and the face of the chamber. You can see how much junk is coming off of there. Also like to take cotton swab and run it down the channel for the firing pin and clean it out of anything loose as best I can. You can see how much junk has simply come off this gun from being shot. But clean every place out that you can possibly get in contact with. The pin, where the pin goes, the face of the bolt, down the channel where your extractor is, just pretty much every place you can possibly get to. Once you get that far, then take your dry brush. You want no oil on this gun right now, and even precious little whenever we're finished with it. But brush every place out that you can possibly reach with that brush. Get it out of there. You want everything off as much as possible. Once you've gotten everything cleaned as best you can with that brush, set your toothbrush to the side. Then I usually like to take some gun scrubber. It isn't absolutely necessary, but this being under pressure, it can help dramatically to get the fouling out. First, I'll start with where the pin for the extractor and spring goes. I'll clean it out. Doesn't take a lot. I want to get everything out of that I possibly can. Make sure some comes through the firing pin, where the firing pin goes through. Once you have all that done, you set that rag to the side again. Then you need to take a pipe cleaner, and I'll take it from the back and push it all the way through where the firing pin comes out the bolt face. And I'll drag it all the way through. You have to make sure that that pipe cleaner is straight, and usually I really prefer using a white pipe cleaner because I can better tell when something's completely cleaned out. But at the time when I got these black pipe cleaners, that's all they had. I'm going to take a pair of needle nose pliers and start it on through there. Get it completely cleaned out. Then I'll go over where the pin goes for the extractor and run it all the way through. See where it come out. Clearing it up. Where that pin sits down from the extractor, I'll put that in there, twist it around, make sure it's cleaned out. Make sure the face of that bolt is totally clean. And that's honestly all there is to it until we start to reassemble. In just a moment I'll be back and we'll reassemble the slide on this Glock 19.